Have you ever wondered how the apps on your phone actually work without crashing all the time? Well, the secret is all in how they're tested, and it really comes down to one big choice. And that one question right there is what splits software testing into two big camps. Do you treat the software like this sealed, mysterious box, or do you crack it open and check every single wire inside? Let's start with that sealed box.
So first up, we've got black box testing. And honestly, the name says it all. You have to imagine you're just a regular user. You have absolutely no idea what's happening behind the screen. All you really care about is, does this thing do what it's supposed to?
Right. So with this method, we don't know the code, and frankly, we don't care about the code. The software is a total black box. All we do is give it an input, a click, some text, and then we check the output. Is it what we expected? That's it. That is the entire game.
I mean, think about it, right? When you get a new TV remote, you don't ask for the engineering blueprints. You just press the volume up button and check if the volume, goes up. It's simple, it's super effective, and it is 100% focused on the user's experience. Now, testers aren't just randomly mashing buttons. They use some really clever techniques to do this efficiently. Things like equivalence partitioning, where they group similar inputs together, or boundary value analysis, where they test the extreme edges, like trying the numbers 0 and 100 if the app is supposed to take numbers from 1 to 99. It's all about testing smarter, not just harder.
Okay, but that brings up a really good point, doesn't it? What if you're not just the person using the remote? What if you're the engineer who actually designed it? Just knowing the buttons work isn't enough for you. You need to know why they work, and if they're built correctly. And that leads us to the other side of the coin.
And that, my friends, is the white box approach. So now we're totally shifting gears. We're going from the user's perspective to the developers, the person who actually has the blueprints.
With white box testing, forget about the mystery. The box isn't black anymore, it's completely transparent. We can see everything, the source code, the architecture, all the little pathways inside. The goal isn't just to see if it works, but to verify how it's working deep down.
So let's go back to our remote. A white box tester? Oh, they are literally popping the back off that thing. They're going to trace the circuits from the volume up button all the way to the little light that sends the signal, making sure every connection is solid. They are verifying the construction of the thing.
Now, in software, that wiring is the code itself. A black box test might only check what happens in one scenario. But a white box test? No way. It has to check both the if part of the code and the else part. The whole point is to make sure every single logical path has been walked down at least once.
So how do you even know if you've done a good job? Well, developers use this thing called code coverage. And it asks some really simple but really powerful questions. Has every single line of code been run? Has every decision point been tested for both outcomes? The goal is to shine a light into all the dark corners of the code, leaving nothing untested.
Okay, so we have these two completely different philosophies. Let's put them side by side, head to head, to really see what makes them tick.
This chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? Black box requires zero knowledge of the code. It's all about the user's view, and its whole goal is to make sure the features work. White box, on the other hand, is the total opposite. You need to know the code inside and out, from the developer's perspective, to verify that it's all written correctly. Look, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this right here. Black box testing is all about the what. What does the software do? Does it work? But white box testing is all about the how. How is the code making that happen? Is it written well? These are two fundamentally different questions, and both are absolutely vital.
Okay, enough theory. Let's get real for a second and make this tangible. We're going to apply both of these methods to something we've all used, an online shopping cart.
So, as a black box tester, you're basically just being a customer. You click Add to Cart. Does the little number on the cart icon go up by 1? You type in a discount code. Does the final price update correctly? You're just checking the stuff you can see, the observable behavior.
But then, you put on your white box hat, and you're diving into the engine room. You're going to look at the actual math function that calculates the discount to make sure it's perfect. You'll check how the code talks to the database when you try to buy 100 of something when there are only 50 in stock. You're testing the internal machinery, not just the dashboard. So the big question, the showdown, black box versus white box, which one is better? Well, here's the twist. That's totally the wrong way to look at it. The reality is, they're a team. They need each other. If you only use one, you're leaving a massive blind spot. You could have perfectly written code that nobody wants to use.
You could have a feature that seems to work fine on the surface, but is secretly a security nightmare underneath.
They are not competing against each other. They're partners. Think of it like this. Black box testing makes sure the car drives well, while white box testing makes sure the engine is built to last. To build truly great, high-quality software, you absolutely need both.
So here's a little something I want you to think about. The next time your favorite app glitches out or crashes, ask yourself, was that a black box problem, something any user would probably find, or was it a sneaky white box flaw hiding deep down in the code? Understanding that difference, well, that's the first step to seeing all software through the eyes of an expert. Thanks for joining me.